Welcome everyone, this is Honest Restart, and this time we're going to be talking about Metroid. Why are we talking about Metroid today? Well, because I want to talk about Metroid, and I think something Metroid is happening in the future relatively soon. We were hoping something this year would happen, but of course there's a pandemic, and well, this year hasn't been the big Nintendo year we thought it would be, but 2021 is looking to be that kind of year. And I'm not just thinking that we're going to get something Metroid next year, I'm thinking that there could even be some massive Metroid celebrations, perhaps Metroid 35th anniversary celebrations. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now before we jump into things, I want to quickly talk about my social media. There's a Twitter page, a Discord community, a Patron page, and a Twitch channel. If you are interested in any of that, check it all out, it's linked in the description below. And of course, if you like what you're seeing here, subscribe. So yes, I know. Some of you may see the title for this video and potentially roll your eyes or just sort of think that the idea is kind of funny that we're talking about Metroid 35th anniversary plans when we're already getting the Mario stuff and there's rumors for Zelda anniversary plans and we're already talking about Pokemon anniversary plans. Why would they also do something for Metroid? I hear you, okay? I'm not crazy, I understand, but hear me out here. I think there's reason to believe that something could be in the works. Now, first off, I'm just going to make it clear. I'm not saying that the kind of stuff we're getting from the Mario anniversary is going to be what we're going to be getting from Metroid as well. No, not nearly to that extent. And we don't even know about the Zelda anniversary stuff, but I also think there will be some Zelda anniversary plans. Whatever happens for Metroid, it will be lesser than Mario and Zelda anniversary plans. And when it comes to Pokemon, well, Pokemon Company pretty much celebrates their anniversary like every year, so I don't really think it's at all crazy to think that Pokemon Company will celebrate the 25th anniversary, which in my opinion is a pretty big deal. So the reason why I think there are going to be Metroid 35th anniversary plans is because, yes, one, in August it will be the 35th anniversary for Metroid, but also I think it's about time that Nintendo starts talking about Metroid. From what we know, Metroid Prime 4 is in development. They restarted development probably somewhere between late 2018 or early 2019. They announced the restart in January of 2019, so I think it's reasonable to assume that a month or two beforehand, perhaps even earlier, they actually made that decision. But the point is, it hasn't been too long since Metroid Prime 4 restarted development. It's probably going to take a little while. Yes, my expectation is that Metroid Prime 4 comes out in 2022. But the thing is, we've also gotten rumors of a 2D Metroid and Metroid Prime Trilogy HD. But these aren't just your typical rumors, they, I would say, are reliable rumors. They're things we've been sort of expecting for quite some time. To me, these rumors that have talked about Prime Trilogy and 2D Metroid are just as reliable as the 3D All-Stars rumors, as the Paper Mario rumors, as the Pikmin 3 Deluxe rumors. The main difference between them, though, is that Paper Mario and 3D All-Stars and Pikmin 3 are all things coming out this year. The Metroid things are not coming out this year, they're coming out at a later time. And when it comes to 2D Metroid, I've already talked about how I think there's a pretty good chance that Mercury Steam has been developing this game. I have a video about that if you want to check that out, but the point is I think that is definitely in the works and potentially around the corner. And then with Prime Trilogy, that game has supposedly been done for a very long time. Nintendo's simply waiting for the right time to release it. So assuming the Metroid Prime 4 is really coming in 2022, and considering the Metroid franchise as a whole has been dormant, Nintendo should probably start talking about Metroid, getting people acquainted with the series, and just sort of building things up for Metroid Prime 4, that eventual release, which I do think will be a really big deal, and I think will be a huge opportunity for the Metroid franchise to reach even greater heights. I think Metroid Prime 4 could be the kind of game that sells over 10 million copies. I think it could be the best-selling Metroid ever. It has that kind of potential, so Nintendo's going to want to treat this right and make sure it's successful. But in order to do that, they have to get people excited for Metroid. So how do you do that? Well, you start talking about Metroid, you start giving us Metroid games to play. So if it turns out that Nintendo does have strong plans for Zelda, similar to what they're doing for Mario, that wouldn't weaken my hope for Metroid 35th anniversary plans, it would actually strengthen it. Because we look back to the good old days, the NES days, before I was even born actually, you had Mario, Zelda, and Metroid. These were the three big single-player experiences that Nintendo had at the time, and their design philosophies were built off of each other. Mario and Zelda continue to grow and become mega franchises, while Metroid has sort of gone up and down and not really excelled as much over the years. But all three franchises share that history, and considering that there's a need to start talking about Metroid and getting fans acquainted with it, and that there are Metroid games in the works, I think Nintendo may take advantage of this and start going into a little bit of that history for Metroid, as they've done with Mario, as they will hopefully do for Zelda, and it will kind of make sense from that perspective. And again, I'm not talking about anything really major here. Maybe we just get a couple tweets and things of that nature, some minor merchandising, but hopefully we see at least one, if not two Metroid games come out next year. That 2D Metroid we've been talking about, and Prime Trilogy. Now, I'm not sure which one will come first. If I had to guess, I'm going to say 2D Metroid comes first, maybe even in the first half of 2021, and if we're lucky, we also get Prime Trilogy to come out in the second half of 2021, potentially around August, the actual 35th anniversary for Metroid. Now, the reason why this may make even more sense is because for Mario's 35th anniversary, we got 3D All-Stars, and there's some speculation going around right now that we may get some sort of combo triple pack as well for Zelda, be it Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, and Wind Waker, or maybe they mix it up and we get like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask instead. Point is, there's some speculation there, and if that turns out to be true, then there's been this precedent set of these triple pack games coming up for 35th anniversaries, and Prime Trilogy will already exist. It's already together. It won't require that much work, and supposedly it's already done. So they could be saving this sort of compilation for the 35th anniversary for Metroid for August 2021. Even if Nintendo ends up celebrating Zelda's 35th anniversary without using some sort of triple pack like they did with 3D All-Stars, because 3D All-Stars is a thing, I feel like that has already set the precedent there, and Nintendo could use another compilation like Prime Trilogy to help celebrate the history of Metroid. I think it makes a lot of sense, and considering that Metroid Prime 4, in my opinion, is likely to come out in 2022, they're going to start talking about Metroid, and this will be a good time to do it. Some of you may be wondering if Metroid Prime Trilogy is even real. This game's been rumored for so long, why should it come out next year? Well, I want to point out that just recently, we got news of Minecraft Steve coming to Smash Bros., and we've gotten news that apparently this has been in the works for 5 years. So the point I'm trying to make with this is that sometimes when it comes to things that are being rumored before they've actually been officially announced, these things have been in the works or in the talks for a very long time. Things are saved for sometimes a while. And when it comes to Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, the current speculation right now by many of us YouTubers or Nintendo analysts, however you choose to refer to us, is that basically because Metroid Prime 4 was delayed, they also held off Metroid Prime Trilogy HD. And I think that makes sense because you want to use Metroid Prime Trilogy HD to acquaint fans to the Metroid Prime franchise and build things up so when Metroid Prime 4 comes out, there isn't too much confusion there, especially considering that it would be Metroid Prime 4. Why would you release a Metroid Prime 4 if there's no Metroid Prime 1, 2, or 3 to play beforehand? There's going to be a lot of new players to the series, so they're going to want to make Prime Trilogy available before that. But the thinking is also that they want it to come out not too long before Metroid Prime 4, that way the Metroid Prime series is still fresh in the minds of gamers. So that's maybe why we haven't seen Metroid Prime Trilogy yet. That's what I'm actually thinking. That's what I believe is the case, because I do believe Metroid Prime Trilogy HD is real. It just hasn't come out yet because Nintendo has been waiting until Metroid Prime 4 is closer to release. And I'm thinking August 2021 for Metroid's 35th anniversary is when we're going to see it. So when it comes to Nintendo's plans for Metroid's 35th anniversary, I don't think it's going to be anything big like Mario's anniversary plans. I don't think it's going to be like that. I don't think it's going to be a dedicated direct and a slew of merchandising. But I am thinking that Nintendo will make some announcements for Metroid. We may see a 2D Metroid, be it Metroid 5 or a Metroid Fusion remake in the first half of 2021. And around the actual anniversary time for Metroid, perhaps Nintendo talks a little bit about Metroid on their social media, gives us a little bit of history about the franchise, and also they make an announcement for Metroid Prime Trilogy in the actual anniversary month for Metroid, which would be August. And all of this Metroid goodness in 2021 would serve to bringing the franchise back to life, acquainting the Metroid franchise to new gamers and reacquainting it to old gamers. And all of this could be the beginning of a big marketing push for Metroid Prime 4 for when it hopefully comes out in 2022. And I think when Prime 4 does come out, it's going to be a big deal. As I said earlier, I think this could be the best-selling Metroid game of all time. I think it seriously has that kind of potential. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think Nintendo has some major plans for Metroid and its 35th anniversary? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, everyone, this is On Just Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.